Alrighty then, let's see here. We don't need to go there, although it might be valuable, because I am the Velvet Doberman and I'm running into some rather extreme difficulties recently, including one with one of my favorite companies, Western Digital. They just can't seem to get it. This falls into the category of, quote, they can't get it right. And this is going to be a new YouTube channel that I'm coming up with. And I really hate to do that with WD, but all I'm trying to do here, folks, is to acquire an RMA for a drive that bricked in the middle of its operation, a red drive. All the communications. As a matter of fact, let's take a look here if I can find it. These are only part of the communications. We've got a couple of videos here. I'll just show them. I'm jumping around arbitrarily. This goes back a couple of weeks or more. So, all right, let's close that one. Here's another one. Where are we? You see, I spent a lot of time, we call this around here in Veldob City, Drain on TED. And TED is an acronym for, let me see if I can do this here. I want to check something. Alright, looks like we are recording. I'm practicing my keystrokes here at the same time. We were there. Sorry about this. Alright, I have no resolution on this, people. You know, I don't, my ground of being in this is not meanness. I don't intend to be snarky, but this is just beyond ridiculous. My experiences in the past with Western Digital have been very good. I get a quick response. Somebody just kind of wraps their mind around the situation and we get it handled. Now, I have problems with this particular drive, all of which is documented, so anybody can look at, well, I probably ought to, since we're being thorough here, see if I can find the case history somewhere here. Okay, here we go. So we're looking at this case here. It hasn't been resolved. Anybody at that end can take a look and see, uh-oh, we dropped the ball. So that's all I'll say about it. Again, this is not about slapping somebody's wrists. This is about getting the job done, and I'm hours into this now. It's just not even feasible because the drive itself is probably new, worth about $80 or $90, and I've got some more important fish to fry. Believe me, it's been a heat wave here. Anybody can see that. All you have to do is watch the 11 o'clock noise, as we call it. That's actually the 11 o'clock news, excuse me. And you will know. Plus I have all kinds of documentation about that on YouTube in connection with our crosshairs on the Los Angeles, California Department of Water and Power that we are going to proceed with a class action suit in respect to the fact that we have been way overcharged, along with 800,000 other people. This sounds like so much balderdash. Google it, you will see. It's outrageous and it's unbelievable. And the Velvet Doberman is the last person they want to do that to. However, the air conditioning has been out here, and I keep getting these doggone notices that my case will be closed in 72 hours. If you look at all of them, if you pull up everything that's in connection with this, assuming that it's even feasible to do that, you will see, and arrange them in sequence. Just arrange them in timeline order, starting with the beginning, next one, next, by date. Just arrange them by date, and you will see the continuity of this. And yeah, there's a lot of talk in there, but sometimes there are things that cannot be short-formed unless you're talking on the phone. And I suppose that's a possibility, but Come on, people. We're busy here. All your customers are busy here. Anyway, I digress. Well, I don't really digress, but I'm on a rant, and I don't want to do that. So let's go back here. Outgoing. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. As the Velvet Doberman, I wanted you to see this. I want somebody of superior, shall we say, senior decision-making authority. Take a look at this and listen to my comments as we go. I'm not even going to finish this because this is so rampant in the industry. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. No. That one's a pretty discreet no. So the question is to the point. This has nothing to do with the issue. I can't say yes. I can't say no. That doesn't give you, the company, the information to win with, quote unquote. I'm going to say no. However, some of the people have been responding are very professional, but they don't get it. They're not, I think they're probably not reading the communications because some of them are a little on the long side. But I'm sorry, you've got to train your people to be, well, like the Mazda commercials before they idiotically changed their slogan to, I think it's zoom zoom instead of go farther. Go farther is up there with Nike. Nike is still using their slogan, just do it. Go farther is the problem. And companies more and more these days are not, they're just not going far enough. They're cutting corners, short sheeting people. If you don't know what that means, Google it. It's kind of kitschy. You fix the sheet so when somebody tries to get into the bed, well, they can't because the sheet is only halfway to the end of the bed and their feet get caught and now they're all wrapped up like a mummy. So short sheeting, corner cutting, profiteering, trying to maximize profit, in other words, by palming everything off onto the customer. Right now, I'm in that position. All of this is being palmed off on me, and I'm hours into this with my files. Here, I'll find them. Here we go. And this is just part of it. This throws me into an absolute tailspin. And this is what you're doing to your customers if you don't listen. It's a very simple solution. Training people to listen, to absorb, and if they don't get it, to pass it really not laterally, but possibly semi-laterally to somebody who is trained to be what we call a contingency expert. And in any situation, you've got someone that's on the payroll whose job classification is referred to as contingency expert. That person has been highly trained to take a look at all of these things. That way you don't have to train every single line level individual with all of this carp. It isn't carp. Well, I'm trying to be delicate. I'm talking crap here. All these nuances and all these subtleties, you can't train interns and new people with all that. I do understand that. I'm not unreasonable. You have the contingency expert, and you have someone to take the contingency expert's place when they call in sick, and you have 3 or 4 of these people who are rotational, and they have the ability and are empowered to give the customer who is all ensnared in all of this minutiae and about to blow it, and in my case, possibly put the experience on my television show using the marvel of video and YouTube and so on and so forth. You don't want that. Not everybody can do that, but I certainly can. So what you want is someone who's going to give me a direct line number and say, we have noticed that your problem is not being solved, and because we have said in all of our our blurbs, our marketing and PR efforts, we care about you, yada yada yada, etc. ad nauseum. Please take this number, this is my direct extension, and we will solve your problem. If you get somebody on the line who just doesn't know what they're talking about, and they're idiots, because customers can be idiots too, believe me, I know that. I have customers too. And what you do, then you have your contingency expert say, we can't solve your problem because you're impossible, Mr. Customer. And very delicately, without offending them, we find other wording for it. In other words, we really don't need you because you're a problem child. as it's called in the online marketing world. But not everybody is a problem child. There are people who do know what they're talking about. You happen to be dealing with one of them now. I have years of experience in this, and when it comes down to this is just a landing page, obviously. The website's being developed in the background. But when it comes to this, how do I get out of here? Well, all right. So let's get back to what I was talking about. I hope this is penetrating the neural net of someone of senior authority, because you need to hear this from someone who has got the track record that I do, as I said, under the radar for years, and now I'm putting my money where my mouth is and my mouth where my money is. And getting back to the problem here, this is one aspect of it. This doesn't give you, the company, what you want to know, but it does give the customer the sense, even if they don't realize it unconsciously, it gives them the sense that what you really want to do is to deflect them. You want them to go away, get out. Because I can't answer that question. This is the second page, and I cannot answer that. I have to choose something, you see. You need a third button that says, is this too vague? In which case, then it can pitch you. We call this is from programming language, if-te, if then else. It's just a simple, kind of like a flow chart. It's flow charting. If you go here and you can't get anywhere else from there, there's an arrow that goes over here. And this is something that you wouldn't normally go to over here if you are following the arrows. Make sense? So I'm going to say no, but that gives you the wrong idea right off the bat on the second page. I will say yes, but you're still really poking around in the dark. It's in a dark room with boxing gloves on a unicycle with pipe plates. We'll try that again. Pipe plates on long poles and a blindfold, looking for the light switch. Well, see, this is vague. This is just unclear. You cannot answer that question and give you, the company that wants to make changes, or so it seems, the info T-dub-dub, the info to win with. I'm going to say no, but that is not correct, because the problem isn't solved. Well, that one is direct enough. No, it certainly wasn't. It's still hanging out in space. Well, I'm going to have to say very dissatisfied, because I'm out hours and hours of my time, and nobody seems to get it, and no one has gotten back to me, and I keep getting these, your case will be closed in 72 hours, although I protested that, and I haven't gotten one recently, so I don't even have the satisfaction or the certainty of knowing that my communication has been received. A very famous philosopher slash educator and teacher once said, quote, "Handle life with communication alone." And anybody in a high position of responsibility, if you sit back in the comfortable chair with the spring action and so on, and just ponder that a minute, it makes total sense. And I certainly don't mean to be talking down to anyone, but I am in the business of solving problems. That's what I've been doing for years. And as a matter of fact, as long as I'm doing this, this gives me a chance to practice a little bit. Forgive me. How can we do this? We go back to that. Aha. All right, so we can open a new window and go to my old... Well, I'm not going to finish this. Did I send it? See, they put this at the end. This does not need to be at the end. It needs to be in drop-down fashion, as I mentioned, in a flow chart, kind of like an outline form, or what's the word I'm looking for? Structure. What is that word? Starts with C. Anyway, by now depending on who I have watching this, you're either really engaged or you're saying this guy is wasting my time. If you do say that, you haven't been listening. So going back to here, I'm getting faster, wouldn't you say? I need to open, let's get out of there. Let's go here to my Twitter, mission. You can go to my LinkedIn profile, but that, which is another avenue. You don't want people on LinkedIn hearing about this either. Better yet, I had mentioned we'll just go to this old online resume because it's the fastest way to get to this. Cohesive planning. I'll leave this up for just half a second because pause control can be used if one wants to read it. This is what I've been doing for years under the radar, as I mentioned, and now we're going national primetime TV with it because it's not happening. People are running around like ducks on fire trying to solve the problems that the company created and the company won't handle. Here, if you want to go there, it's very simple. Just take this down, and you can go directly there and read some of these things. I can guarantee it will be helpful, despite the fact that these are old entries and need to be updated. Okay, that's all for now. That's all I wanted to say, but I wanted something to be able to send to somebody, again, of senior decision-making authority, to take a look at this situation. Help your customer. Don't think of me as the Velvet Doberman at this point. Think of me as the customer who's spinning around on his thumb trying to figure out what to do next because I don't have any resolution and I've got people sending me this. How do we get there? Hang on a second, we'll get there. How did we do? No, that's not the one. I've got an inquiry, and I guess I don't have it in this folder because, again, this is about 1/4 of the body of content that deals with the situation. I got, just recently, on another computer system where I keep my email, I have a request for my feedback on apparently a new product. I even went on Google, of course, to look it up, and it appears to be a version of the MyBook device. Except that in the picture that goes along with it, it's in this form factor here. It looks like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Our customers are extremely important to us. Well, I would hope that's true. So, I'm available for consultation, by the way. I've done this for enterprise corporations all the way down to individuals with businesses over the years. I'd be happy to discuss this with someone. I have solutions for this kind of thing that you're hearing about right from my lips. I just happen to be the one in the chair with a bare light bulb above me. I've got the crosshairs on my forehead. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending upon how you choose to look at it, I am also the special services op that's about to storm the compound. So here we go. That's all for now. I hope I recorded this. We'll find out when I bring this up. Seems that's the case. So, Captain's Log Star Date, here we go. It's the 14th of July. As usual, I'm working halfway through the night, if not all night. And part of the fact is it's the only time I can get to some of this junk because I'm too busy also trying to make a living, put food on the table, keep the wolves away from the door, and build the business. Anyone with a modicum of knowledge of how a business is structured and designed by deliberation to grow will know what I'm talking about, hopefully. Again, I don't mean to sound condescending. I'm actually in the backgrounder here trying to be helpful. So let's see if somebody can be my consumer advocate and help me out as a valued customer, as it says here. An extremely important to us customer, and let me know if I might be able to help too with my rather vast experience and my approximately 97 to 98% track record. So that's all for now. I'm about to hit F2 on 0, 3, 2, 1, and oh, wait a minute. And thank you for your time. 0.